it's good to see you again. How are you today?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, good. Can you tell me how your voice has been this last week?
Hoarse,
Hoarse, okay.
raspy.
Hoarse and raspy. Okay. What were some positives and what were some challenges that you faced with your voice this week?
Still speak.
Okay.
And people.
All right, so people have a hard time hearing what you say.
Yes.
Okay. Is it all the time or is it like certain times of the day?
Usually
All
all
day.
day. I know a lot
Okay. Have you experienced any more of that aphonia at the end of the day where your voice just stops like working?
would be
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay, good. Um, so what settings are you noticing the raspiness and the hoarseness with your voice? Okay. All right. So we're going to work on some of our strategies today. Some we have already gone over in last week's session, and some are new. So we did this last week where we worked on our diaphragmatic breathing. So we're going to work on that today. So remember when we're using our diaphragmatic breathing that we're using those lower muscles like around our belly. We don't want to use our shoulders. We don't want to be lifting our shoulders up. Okay. So when we are using those lower muscles, it makes our lungs inflate, which can make us sound louder and you can be heard by others better. Okay. So I'm going to give you an example of our diaphragmatic breathing. Okay. So we're going to use our lower muscles. Did you notice my shoulders moving?
no.
Okay. All right. So I would like you to try. Okay. So, okay. All right. So I noticed your shoulders going up. Let's try that one more time. And remember to use our lower muscles like around where our belly is. Okay. All right. That was better. All right. So this time, put your hand on your belly and we'll try it that way. So put your hand there and let's do it together. One more time. Okay. All right. Good. How did that feel? Okay. All right. All right. Well, that's something that we're going to continue working on. So good work. That's awesome. All right, so now we're going to do some of our loud voice exercises. So this is going to be our twang exercise. So this is one that we worked on last session, and we found our happy twang that we're going to use today. So we decided we're going to do the bang like a sheep. So we're going to be like, bah. You try. Okay. All right. So with this strategy, we're going to move to the next step and we're going to start adding twang to another word. So we're going to focus on the buying for a little while and then we're going to try to add it to another word. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. Okay. And so remember after, we do our practicing that we don't want to be incorporating our twang into conversation. This is just a sensation that we want to get to be comfortable with for when we do phonate. Does that make sense? Okay. What do you have a question about? When we speak. So when we speak, we do not want to use the twang exercise. We just want to know what the feeling is and use that feeling when we're speaking. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we're going to do some of the bang like a sheep with our twang. All right. So let me do an example for you. Bah! Bah! It really is over exaggerating. Does that make sense? Okay. So let me do another one. Bah! Now you try. All right. Now remember to use our diaphragmatic breathing when we're doing this as well, okay? Okay. All right. All right. Do we feel comfortable trying it with a different word today, or do we just want to do the bath? Try with another word. Okay. All right, let's try with the word yeah. So it's pretty similar to our bath. So we're going to do yeah. Yeah. Really exaggerate, make that H at the end really long. Yeah. All right, I can tell that you're using your diaphragmatic breathing. I don't see your shoulders coming up, so that's awesome. How did that feel? Strange? Okay. All right. Well, that's something that we're going to continue working on. All right, so now we're going to try some of our semi-occluded exercises. All right, so we're going to try something new this week. So we're going to do our straw phonation. So I went ahead and I made you your handmade manometer. So this is just a cup and it has these numbers on the side. So it can help us figure out where we want to put our straw in the water. And this will all make sense. So the water is in the cup. So what we're going to use this for, so in order for our vibration to occur, we have to have enough air pressure below our vocal folds and above, and it has to match. So when they don't match, that's when we're getting that breathiness. So that's what we're going to try to use our manometer for, to try to match that air pressure. Does that make sense? Okay, so we're starting with just a regular straw, but our end goal is to be able to do this with a coffee stirrer. Okay, so we're going to see where our happy place is today, and we would like to get to 6. That's going to be our goal, to get to 6 on our manometer. So today we're just going to see where we're comfortable with, and we're going to try to work towards that 6. Okay. All right. So, so when we use this straw, it's going to help shape our vocal folds to how it would be similar when we're phonating or speaking. So it's just going to help our vocal folds get into like that position. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. So when you blow into the straw, you want to be able to feel the vibration on the straw, your lips, around your mouth. You just want to be able to feel that vibration, okay? All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're start working on this one. All right, so first, would you like me to take her? Think you can do it? Okay. All right, so first, do you want me to hold the straw, or do you think you can hold the straw? Okay, so I'm gonna put this, we're gonna start, we'll start down here at 6. And I want you to blow bubbles into the cup, okay? And we're gonna try to find a comfortable spot, so we don't have to put too much effort into blowing. Okay, not getting too much bubble, so I'm gonna move it up to a 5. Okay, that was a little bit more. How'd that feel? Yes, yeah, we want to use our diaphragmatic breathing. Okay, let's try a 4. Yes, yeah, we're gonna try to find that happy spot where, okay, good. Good, that's much better. How did that feel at a 4? Okay, not too much effort, felt comfortable? Okay, good. All right, so we're gonna work with our straw at that 4 today. All right, so let's see here. All right, so I'm gonna hold the straw here on the 4, and I want you to just blow bubbles for as long as you can, okay? Out of air. Okay, well, that was really good. I did notice there were some breaks in there where I could notice where, we stopped using our diaphragmatic breathing and there was some breathiness. Because when we blow into there, we want those bubbles to be consistent and constant. And there were some breaks where there were no bubbles. So take a break, catch your breath for a little bit. And then we will try that one more time, but I'm going to give you some time to rest. Just tell me whenever you're ready. Feel like you're ready? Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing again. I'm gonna hold the straw at the 4, and I want you to try to be consistent. Make sure that we have constant bubbles, and I want you to blow as long as you can. Sure. Use our diaphragmatic breathing. Okay. Okay. Okay, how did that feel? Difficult? Okay. I did notice we did have a break earlier than we did the first time where we had no bubbles blowing, but that's okay. We're going to continue working on this. And this is our first time doing this, so good work. All right, so we're going to do another semi-occluded exercise, and this is called Wave in a Cave. Have you ever heard of Wave in a Cave? Okay. All right, so it might seem a little silly, but it's going to help us. It's going to help us with getting louder and getting that sensation of how to make our voice louder so we're heard. Okay. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a cave. Now let me show you what we need to do here, and then I might have to take her from you, okay? All right, so we're going to take both of our hands and we're going to make a cave over our mouth like this. Okay, so we want our thumbs to be like kind of intertwined like that. Okay. All right. So once we have our cave made, next we are going to make a sound. And we're going to do the ooh sound, and we're going to hold it as long as we can. Make sense? Okay. All right. So after we do that, we're going to do that a couple times, and then we're going to add a different sound in here. So we're going to do the same thing where we make our cave, cover our mouth, and we're going to sound like a siren. Make sense? Okay. And then after we do that, we're going to glide up and then we're going to glide down. So we're going to hold our hands over our mouth, make our cave. We're going to glide up. Like that. Okay. And then we're going to glide down. We're going to start. Yeah. Yeah. Start high and then go low. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. And I will walk you through this while I hold her. Okay. Do you have any questions? No? Okay. All right. So we'll switch. All right. Hello. So you came to help today too. All right. So do you remember what the first thing is that we're going to do for Wave in a Cave? Yep. Yep. So we want our thumbs intertwined. Yep. And where are we going to put our hands? Like that. Yes. And the first thing we're going to do is we are going to do our ooh sound. How did that feel? Tiring? Yes. Okay. All right. So I'm glad that you held it as long as you can. That's what our goal is, to hold this for as long as we can. All right. So we did our ooh sound. So now we're going to try to glide up. All right. So we're going to do our ooh again, and we're going to start low. So ooh, like that. And hold it as long as you can. Okay. All right. So how do you think that sounded? Do you feel like there was any gliding up, or you think it was kind of consistent with our first ooh, where we sounded the same? More consistent. Yeah. Yeah. And I heard some pitch breaks in there too. All right. So this time, let's try to start high and go low. So I'm just going to use one hand since I'm holding her, but we're going to try to go. We start high and go low. So we're going to glide down. All right, were you experiencing some vocal fatigue there at the end? Yeah, okay. So I did hear a higher pitch than what we did last time when we were gliding up, so that's good. But how do you think it sounded? Better? Yeah, yeah, it was higher, but I still feel like we were pretty consistent with our pitch. I don't think we really went low, but we can get that higher pitch, so that's good. All right. So that was the last of our semi-included exercises. Okay. So now I want you to show me 5 instances of diaphragmatic breathing. So I want you to do 5. I want you to do your diaphragmatic breathing 5 times. Deep breath. All right. So good. So next I want you okay, so we're going to do this. We'll only do this 3 times. I want you to take your time between our phonations, but I want you to show me how you use twang. I want you to do the best you can. Do it 3 times and take a rest between each one. All right, you want to do wave in a cave first? You can do wave in a cave.
I know what you
Okay, that was 3 times. Okay. All right. All right. So next I want you to do our straw phonation. And I want you to do it, let's do it 3 times. I want you to take your time in between each section. Well, what did we work on today? What number were we at when we worked on today? Okay, so we were at 4 today. So we're at 4. So I want you to show me the steps of how we do our straw phonation. Mhm. Mhm. And let me time this as well. So let me pull my timer up real quick. And you can start whenever you're ready. All right. We'll just do that. We'll do that one more time. And I want you to take a breath, take a rest before you do it again. All right. So when we did our twang, we have a scale here. So we have 1, 2, 3. 1 being uncomfortable, and no, we'll do 1 being comfortable and 3 being uncomfortable. So this is comfortable. This is uncomfortable. I want you to circle on this page how it felt when you did twang. Okay. All right. So whenever you're ready to do your second straw phonation, we're good to go. But if you're not ready yet, that's okay. Take your time. Mhm. Okay. All right. So the last thing that I need you to do is our wave in a cave. Okay. So I want you to show me the steps and show me how we do wave in a cave. We're going to do this 3 times. I want you to take your time between each. I want you to take your time before we do our next one. Yep, take your time. Okay. All right, I want you to take your time before you do your next one. Catch your breath. Which one did you just do? Okay. Okay. All right. How do we think today's session went? Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. So do you have any questions for me? Okay. All right. So next session, we're going to continue working on our diaphragmatic breathing. We're going to do more of that straw phonation, and we are going to introduce the calling the text loud voice exercise. So the loud voice exercise that we did today was twang. So we're going to introduce this calling to text next time, because we're going to work towards our goal of being able to do 3 of the loud voice exercises, so we can work towards our long-term goal of being able to do a turn-taking conversation for 15 minutes. Okay. Do you have any questions about that? Okay. All right. Well, thanks for coming in today. You worked really hard, and I will see you our next session. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.